Maya had been planning her graduation outfit for 3 months. Valedictorian of her college class, full scholarship to law school starting in September, 4 years of perfect grades culminating in this moment. She wanted everything to be perfect. Uncle Derek is bringing his professional camera, right? Maya asked me for the third time that week. He promised. He'll get photos of you receiving your diploma, your speech, everything. My brother Derek was a hobby photographer with expensive equipment. He'd offered to document the graduation months ago. His photos would be beautiful, something Maya could keep forever. 2 days before graduation, my phone buzzed with a text from Derek. Can't make Saturday. Tommy's pitching in his first game, you understand. I called him immediately. Derek, this is Maya's college graduation. You promised to take photos. Tommy's 10. This is a big deal for him. First time pitching in a real game. It's Little League. Maya is giving the valedictorian speech. She's worked for this for 4 years. And she'll have plenty of other achievements. Tommy's childhood is happening now. I can't miss it. It's not even playoffs. It's a regular season game. It's important to my son. You're being selfish, honestly. Maya will understand. He hung up. I called my father next, hoping for support, maybe for him to talk sense into Derek. Dad, Derek just canceled on Maya's graduation for Tommy's baseball game. Well, Tommy's game is important. Derek has to be there for his son. And Maya? Your granddaughter? The one graduating with honors? Maya's an adult. She doesn't need her uncle at her graduation. Tommy needs his father at his game. So Maya just doesn't matter as much? Don't be dramatic, Jennifer. Derek has responsibilities to his own child. You need to understand that. I understand perfectly. I hired a professional photographer. It cost me $800 I budgeted for Maya's law school textbooks. I rearranged the family dinner reservation to a smaller table. I called my mother's sister, Aunt Patricia, who came through with enthusiasm Derek and my father had never shown. Graduation day arrived, sunny and warm. Maya looked beautiful in her cap and gown, honor cords draped across her shoulders in gold and purple, the colors representing her academic achievements. Summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa, presidential scholar, 4 years of dedication visible in those cords. I sat in the family section with Aunt Patricia and my mother's side of the family. My cousin brought flowers. My mother's best friend, who'd known Maya since birth, came with a card and a gift. The seats I'd reserved for Derek and my father, front row center with perfect sight lines, stayed empty throughout the ceremony. 2 empty chairs, like missing teeth in an otherwise complete smile. Maya gave her valedictorian speech about perseverance and family support, about the people who believe in you when challenges seem insurmountable. Her voice was strong and clear, carrying across the outdoor amphitheater. I watched her eyes scan the crowd during the part about family. Watched her locate the empty chairs. Watched her pause for just a fraction of a second before continuing. Watched her realize they really weren't coming, that Tommy's baseball game had won. Watched her voice steady itself, her shoulders straighten, and her speech continue anyway, with even more conviction. After the ceremony, she asked the question I'd been dreading. Why didn't Uncle Derek and Grandpa come? Tommy had a baseball game. A baseball game was more important than my graduation? I had no good answer for that. What I didn't tell Maya was what I'd been planning for 3 months. The same 3 months she'd been planning her graduation outfit, I'd been planning something else entirely. I'd been planning to take control of Morrison Manufacturing. My grandfather founded the company in 1968, building industrial parts for automotive suppliers. By the time he died in 2016, it was generating $52 million in annual revenue with 240 employees. Everyone in the family assumed Derek would inherit the business. He worked there as vice president of operations. My father, who'd run the company for 30 years before semi-retiring, still came in as senior advisor. Between them, they pulled in $330,000 annually in salary. I worked there too, executive vice president, officially. But Derek and my father treated my role as ceremonial. Jenny handles the paperwork, they tell clients. We handle the real business. What they didn't know was that my grandfather had left me something more important than a title. He'd left me 51% of the company. The shares had transferred through a private trust when he died, not part of the public will, just a quiet legal document giving me controlling interest. My father got 25%. Derek got 15%. The remaining 9% was split among a few early investors. My grandfather had called me to his hospital bed 2 weeks before he died. "You're the smart one," he'd said. "Derek thinks business is about swagger. Your father thinks it's about legacy. You understand it's about making good decisions every single day. I'm giving you control, Jenny, but keep it quiet until you need it. Let them think they're running things. When the time comes, you'll know what to do." I kept his secret for 8 years. Watched Derek make poor decisions. Watched my father interfere with strategic plans. Watched the company succeed in spite of them because I was actually making the important decisions through board proxies and quiet influence. The board knew. 7 directors and 4 of them understood who really held power. We kept the company profitable, innovative, and growing. Derek thought his department was succeeding because of his management. My father thought the company was thriving because of his decades of wisdom. Neither of them realized I'd been steering the ship the entire time. Maya's graduation was the breaking point. I'd spent 8 years watching Derek's son get prioritized over my daughter. Tommy's soccer games, Tommy's school plays, Tommy's birthday parties, always more important than Maya's achievements. My father enabled it, reinforced it, made it clear whose grandchild really mattered. The Monday after graduation, I called an emergency board meeting. "I'm presenting a restructuring proposal," I told the 7 directors gathered in the conference room. "We're eliminating 2 executive positions that are redundant and underperforming." I laid out 8 years of documentation, projected on the screen for everyone to see, charts and graphs that told a damning story. Derek's department was 23% behind schedule on deliveries, 15% over budget consistently. Client complaints had increased 40% over 2 years. His decisions had cost the company $840,000 in penalties and lost contracts over the past 2 years alone. My father's advisory role had delayed 12 major decisions in the past 18 months, created confusion in the leadership structure with contradictory directives, and cost approximately $200,000 annually in lost productivity. Meetings that should have taken 1 hour stretched to 3 because he needed to tell stories about how we did it in the old days. Combined, these positions represent $1 million annual drag on company performance. I'm recommending immediate termination with standard severance. The documentation supports this decision from both a performance and financial perspective. The vote was unanimous. My 51% made it a formality, but even the independent directors agreed. One actually said, "This should have happened 2 years ago." Tuesday morning, I had HR call Derek and my father to a meeting in the main conference room. Derek arrived first, cocky and casual. "What's this about? I've got a department meeting at 10. My father came in behind him. "Jennifer, this better be important. I'm supposed to golf with the Hendersons." The HR director, Michelle, sat beside me with 2 folders. "We're restructuring your positions," I said calmly. "Effective immediately, your employment with Morrison Manufacturing is terminated." The room went silent. Derek laughed. "What? Jenny, you can't fire me. I'm VP of Operations. I'm majority shareholder and CEO. I can restructure any position." "Dad, tell her." Derek looked at my father desperately. My father's face had gone red. "This is absurd. Jennifer, I built this company. Grandpa built it. You ran it for 30 years. Then Grandpa left controlling interest to me when he died in 2016. I slid copies of the trust documents across the table, share certificates showing my 51% ownership, board meeting minutes from 8 years of meetings showing my authority." Derek stared at the papers. "This can't be real. Dad said I'd inherit the business." "Dad doesn't own the business. He has 25%. You have 15. I have 51. I've been majority shareholder for 8 years." My father's voice shook. "Your grandfather did this without telling me?" "He told me. He made me promise to keep it quiet until I needed to use it. I'm using it now." "This is about the graduation," Derek said, understanding dawning. "You're punishing us for missing Maya's graduation. I'm terminating 2 positions that have been underperforming for years. Your department is consistently behind schedule and over budget. Dad's interference slows down every major decision. The documentation is in your severance folders." Michelle opened the folders. 2 weeks severance pay. Healthcare coverage through the end of the month. Security will escort you out after you collect personal items from your offices. "You can't do this," my father said. "The family will never accept this. The family doesn't vote on company decisions. The board does. And the board voted unanimously yesterday." Derek stood up, his chair scraping loudly. This is because of Tommy's baseball game, because I chose my son over your daughter. No, Derek. This is because you chose your son over your job performance for 8 years. Just like you chose him over Maya's graduation. The pattern finally caught up to you. We'll sue. We'll get lawyers. You're employed at will in an at-will state. I have documentation of performance issues. My attorney is very confident. I kept my voice level. You're welcome to try. Security arrived. 2 professional guards who escorted Derek and my father to their offices, supervised their packing, and walked them out to the parking lot. I watched from my office window as they left. Derek was on his phone, probably calling his wife. My father walked slowly, looking older than I'd ever seen him. The call started within an hour. My father's sister. How could you fire your own father? He was underperforming. It's business. Derek's wife. You've destroyed our family over a petty grudge. I've restructured a company that my grandfather left to me. My mother's sister Patricia. About damn time someone put those 2 in their place. The family split predictably. My father's side thought I was cruel and vindictive. My mother's side thought I'd finally stood up for myself. Neither side changed the reality that I owned the company, and they didn't. Derek found a job 3 months later at a competing manufacturer. His salary was $95,000, almost half of what he'd been making. My father tried consulting for a few months before admitting he was actually retired now. Morrison Manufacturing's performance improved immediately. Without Derek's interference, deliveries came in on schedule. Without my father's delays, decisions got made efficiently. Revenue increased 18% over the next 6 months. Maya learned what happened from her Aunt Patricia, who couldn't keep the secret. Mom, you fired Uncle Derek and Grandpa because of my graduation? Not entirely because of your graduation, but that was the moment I realized I was done letting them dismiss your achievements. Done pretending their priorities mattered more than yours. That seems extreme. Maybe. But they've spent your entire life showing you that Tommy matters more. That their side of the family matters more. I spent 8 years with the power to change that and did nothing. Your graduation reminded me I was enabling them by staying quiet. Do you regret it? No. The company's doing better. I promoted 2 excellent people into those positions. And you know what? I don't have to sit through another holiday dinner watching them celebrate Tommy's mediocre report card while barely mentioning your perfect GPA. Maya's law school graduation came 3 years later. She graduated in the top 10% of her class and already had a job offer at a prestigious firm. Derek and my father learned about it from Facebook. I didn't invite them. They sent cards congratulating her and asking if we could move past this. I didn't respond. At the graduation, Maya gave another speech, this one about the importance of recognizing your own worth and surrounding yourself with people who value your achievements. She looked right at me during the part about family support. After the ceremony, she hugged me tight. Thank you for coming. Thank you for always being here. I'll always be here. That's what mothers do. Uncle Derek used to be here too. Used to be. Past tense. People make choices. They chose Tommy's baseball game. I chose you. I don't regret my choice. I don't regret yours either. We had dinner with Aunt Patricia and my mother's side of the family. We celebrated Maya's achievement properly, with people who genuinely cared. My phone buzzed during dessert, a text from Derek. Saw the photos on Facebook. Congratulations to Maya. I should have been there for her first graduation. I'm sorry. 3 years too late. A company too late. A relationship too late. I deleted the message and turned back to my daughter, who was laughing at one of her cousin's jokes, surrounded by family who'd actually shown up. Tommy's baseball game had been important. Important enough to cost Derek a $180,000 salary and the family business he thought he'd inherit. Maya's graduation had been important too. Important enough for me to finally use the power my grandfather had given me 8 years earlier. Some people learn the value of priorities when they're taught gently. Others learn when they're unemployed. My brother learned the hard way, and my father learned that the daughter he dismissed had been running his company all along. The company continued to thrive. Maya passed the bar exam. Life moved forward. And somewhere in a drawer in my office, I kept the program from Maya's college graduation, the one where she gave her valedictorian speech to a family section missing 2 people who should have been there. I kept it as a reminder of the day I stopped being quiet about being underestimated. The day Tommy's baseball game became the most expensive Little League game anyone in our family ever played.